Hello everyone, welcome again on YouTube channel of Developers and Coders Club NIT-A Gartala. Today I will discuss the problem B of Educational Codeforces round 148 Div 2, and the name of the problem is maximum sum. The problem states that you are given an array of n elements and all the elements are different, and you have to perform exactly k operations within it. During each operation you can do exactly one of these following two actions. Okay, so either you can remove two minimum elements from the array, or you can remove one maximum element from the array, and the last you have to calculate the maximum possible sum of the remaining array. Okay, so if you take the test case, if you take the first test case, so this is these are all elements. Now I simply sort the array. So what the question saying, like we can do two operations. We have k is equal to 1. Okay, so we can perform operations one time, and we have to perform operation one time because in the question states exactly one. Okay, so either we can perform first type of operation, remove two minimum elements. Okay, so remaining array will be this. So the sum for this array is 10 plus 6, 16 plus 5, 21. Okay, or either what we can do, we can perform the second type of operation, which is removing the maximum element. So in this case our remaining array will be this, and the sum for this array is 6 plus 5, 11 plus 2, 13 plus 1, 14. Okay, so and the last we have to choose the maximum one, so our answer will be 21 because this is the maximum. Okay, you can see in first test case our answer is 21, and if you choose the second last test case, which is 15, 12, this, so I simply copy it. This is your test case, so copy it. Sorted 10, 11, 12, 13, and the 15, in the last 22. Okay, so this is your initial array. Now we have k is equal to 2, so we have to perform the operation two times. So what we can do, in first operation we have we can remove two minimum elements, so sum is 10 plus 11, 21, and the maximum is 22, so we'll remove these two elements. Okay, and our remaining array is this. Now if we now our k is 1, so we have to perform one operation one time more. So okay, so either we will remove these two elements, we can remove this maximum element. So sum for these two minimum elements is 12 plus 13 is 25, and this is your 22. So now minimum is 22, so we will remove this. So remaining array is this highlighted part. Okay, so now sum for this array is 12 plus 13, which is 25, plus 15 is 40. Okay, so we will get our answer is 40. But now you if you see in the answer for this particular test case is 46, and we are getting 40. So yeah, this is not right. So if you try to choose optimally, we will not get our answer. We have to hit all the possibilities. Okay, so if I remove these things, Okay, it's now it's fine. This is 22. Okay, so now we have three possibilities to remove because our case 2. So what are the possibilities to removing elements? If we draw here the minimum elements and the maximum elements, okay, and this is your max. Okay, what is your first possibility? Because we have to perform operation two times, meaning two times. In first time, what we can do, if we remove zero minimum elements, so we have to perform both two operation to removing maximum element. Okay, so we have to remove maximum two elements, all perform two operation to removing maximum elements. Or either what we can do, we will remove or one operation we will use to remove minimum elements. So if we use one operation to remove minimum elements, what elements we will remove? In every operation we will remove two elements, so 1 into 2. So one operation will perform to removing elements, then 2 minus 1 will be removing maximum elements. Okay, or what we can do, 0 1, and all these two operation in removing elements, here will be 0. Okay, so these are only three possibilities to removing elements from this array. So if we name this is test case 1, this is test case 2, and this is test case 3. So if we calculate removing minimum 0 elements, if we remove 0 minimum elements and all the maximum 2 elements, so if you remove these 2 elements, then our remaining array will be this. And the sum for this particular is 12 plus 13 is 25, plus 10 35, plus 11 is 46. Okay, so in case 1 we will get 46. If we choose test case 2, in this we will remove one maximum element. Okay, so we will remove this maximum element and two minimum elements. Okay, so two minimum elements. Now this is your remaining array, and the sum for this is 12 plus 13 is 15 plus 10 25, plus 15 40. Okay, so this is 40, and the last test case 0 maximum elements and 4 minimum elements, so 1 2 3 4. So this is your remaining array, and sum for this array is 22 plus 5 27, plus 10 37. Okay, so these are only three possibilities to removing elements, and these are the sum for remaining array. So now you can clearly see 46 is the maximum, so our answer is 46. Okay, so I hope you understand the approach. Now we'll try to code this. Okay, in my code, first I take n and k, simply input, and here I sort this array. In the last I make a prefix array. Okay, so this is the simple process to build prefix array. And now here I take a variable sum, in which I will store the sum of all the elements, and in answer initially I stored 0. Okay, so you can see here in sum I will store some of the all the elements. Now I run a loop from taking minimum elements 0 to minimum elements equal to k. In this array I am performing this task, these cases, taking minimum elements 0, taking minimum elements 0, taking minimum elements 1, minimum elements 2. So 2 is or k, so less than equal to k. Okay, now you understand the loop, and now and the maximum element will be simply k minus minimum elements. Okay, now in available I will store the sum of remaining array. Okay, in available I will store the sum after removing the elements. In the last case we will remove 2 into 2 4 elements, so our remaining array is this, So in available I will store the sum of these two elements. Okay, so okay, in available I will store. So in first case, test case, if minimum element is equal to 0, so this is test case. If minimum element 0, then we will remove last k elements. Okay, so in first test case, you can see in first test case, if you take about this or k is 2, so last two elements, so I will simply store the prefix sum of n minus 1 minus maximum elements. So if I copy this, I am storing prefix sum of n minus 1 minus maximum elements. In this test case, or n is 6 minus 1 minus maximum elements. If for minimum element 0, then maximum elements will be k. In this test case, which is 2, 6 minus 1 minus 2, which is 3. Okay, so I will simply remove these two elements, and if you see the index 0, 1, 2 and 3, 3 is this element, so I will storing in available the prefix sum of these till this index. Okay, and you can see this is your required answer. So I will store this particular array in the form of sum by using prefix sum. Okay, else case, when or minimum element is not 0, so in this test case I will storing, if we choose this test case, in this test case or minimum element is 2, so now these two we will removing, and our maximum element is 1, so we will remove this also. So we want to store only these three elements. So how we can store? We will simply use prefix sum of this minus prefix sum of this. Okay, so choosing all these minus removing this, so we will get this. Okay, in the else case I am simply doing this, and the last taking the maximum of available and answer, and simply print the answer. I hope you understand this problem. Thank you.